At any moment, we can expect the results to come in from a vital U.S. senatorial primary in the swing state of Nevada. Razor-thin margin between Republicans. Former U.S. Army Captain Sam Brown and Dr. Jeff Gunter, who will join us in a moment before he learns his political fate. But despite Dr. Gunter working in the Trump administration as an ambassador to Iceland and labeling himself as the MAGA candidate, Donald Trump's endorsement went to Gunter's primary opponent, Captain Sam Brown, during a Las Vegas rally over the weekend.
A man named Brown, a senator named Brown. You have a good man named Brown right here, you know.
That was followed by a more official endorsement later on social media. But what makes this really interesting is that Dr. Gunter has a theory on why he didn't earn his former boss's endorsement. That it was effectively for sale, a theory that has not gone over well with some in the party. Dr. Gunter tweeting in part, Trump doesn't endorse at rally. National Republican Senatorial Committee, McConnell, swamp, freaks out. On plane ride back, big check comes in from the swamp. Truth Social post comes out late last night. In response, the National Republican Senatorial Committee slammed Dr. Gunter, saying California Democrat Jeff Gunter became totally unglued after President Trump endorsed war hero Sam Brown. Gunter took to Twitter to falsely smear President Trump and sounds more Adam Schiff than a conservative. No matter who wins, critical seat with Democrats holding a 51-49 majority. In November, Republicans hope to flip that seat from blue to red. Joining us now is Dr. Jeff Gunter, Republican candidate for Senate in Nevada. Thanks very much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. All right, so their position...
Hey Dan, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Their position is that Captain Brown is just more electable than you are. Not buying it?
Not buying it all. Three-time loser. He's lost 3 times. 1 time in Texas, twice here in Nevada, completely unqualified. A patriot, let me say that without a doubt. But there's no doubt that I'm 100%, 110% more qualified. He's not a small business owner. He's lost 3 elections in a row. And let's face it, he's the darling of certain of the people here in Nevada. And he doesn't have a chance in hell of beating Jackie Rosen. And he's already 14 points behind her in the polls. And it's got a lot of people bewildered. And, you know, he did not endorse him at that rally. I'll push back a little bit on you, Dan.
Okay.
He actually said the word, we have a guy, Sam, here, and people booed. And he backed off of it. And then someone did it at 34,000 feet. And maybe there are some snakes in what's it called, Air Trump one.
Well, that's what I want to. That's what I want to. That's what I want to understand.
I love the President of the United States.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I want to ask you about, because it sounds like what you're saying is that Trump's endorsement was for sale.
No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is I love Donald Trump 110%. I'm saying that there's snakes around him, and we saw it. You say, well, how can you make that accusation? For me, it's deja vu all over again. Remember the days of Comey. Remember the days of his deputy press secretary who got walked out of the White House. We watched the first 2 years as part of his administration where the greatest president we've had since Abraham Lincoln has been taking bites out of him by snakes. Look, I was at the State Department. I saw what happened with that completely ridiculous Ukraine impeachment. And you saw very little people from the State Department come and defend the President of the United States. So I'm 110% pro-Trump. And let me tell you, President Trump needs our help. And he is surrounded by snakes. And for me, this is 2.0, deja vu all over again.
But it sounds to me like what you're saying is that Donald Trump couldn't make the decision on his own, and instead the snakes made the decision. You know, you're 110%, you say, behind him, but it sounds like you're also saying that he's not capable of making his own decision for who he wants to endorse.
Absolutely not. Donald Trump is amazingly capable. And let's compare and contrast him to Joe Biden, who can't even get off a stage, let alone create endless wars around the country, have our whole state here dying of fentanyl deaths, and we have a wide open border. So there's been no greater president than Donald Trump. And let there be no misunderstanding. He's under assault. He's under attack. 34 ridiculous indictments that we saw in New York, and prosecutions, and he needs our help.
Let me ask you.
That's why I'm 110% for the president.
Final question. You were the ambassador to Iceland under President Trump. You were a dermatologist before that. How does a dermatologist become the ambassador to Iceland?
Well, I've been a 17-year member of the Republican Jewish Coalition, very involved in international and Israel affairs. I'm a physician, and let's face it, I'm a leader. I've done incredibly well. I've had leadership positions throughout, and I've been supportive of Donald Trump. And I've deeply believed in the America First policies. And that's why, don't forget, I passed the Senate 100-0. And Jackie Rosen, my next appointment in the general, Jackie Rosen, my opponent, voted for me. So don't forget it.
Dr. Gunter, thank you very much for taking the time. We really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.